So I've been asked the same question over and over. Should you start game development? And if you should, then how do you do that? See, game development is a thing many people dream of doing. And some of them actually do it. A lot of them, honestly. But a lot of them also don't. And that's what I want to get to in this video. So let's get to it. So before I start covering what you'll need, we'll need to cover why you should or shouldn't do it. So here's a few reasons I think you should do it. So for starters, you have big ideas and you want to turn them into something that's real and usable. Be that well-being apps, productivity apps, simulators, and so many more. You'll learn a lot of that through game development, including how to turn your ideas into actually usable software. Secondly is it's transferable. If you want to learn a highly transferable skill, say for a career or to create even more things, game development is a great way to do that. You'll be learning UX design, storytelling, programming, translating thoughts and features into steps, among many others. And thirdly is community connection. There's a large and passionate community of indie developers, modders, engine communities, and a lot of people who want to see you succeed. There's also a lot of tutorials, courses, and resources out there to help you get started and learn it. Now that we've covered some of the reasons that you might want to start game development, we also need to cover some of the reasons that you might not want to start game development. So for starters, getting rich quick is a really common reason that people start, and it's not a good reason. Game development isn't a fast income, it's honestly very slow, unless you're very lucky. And honestly as well, you shouldn't ever be making games just for money. You'll burn out fast, and it'll really just be misery if you do it without actually loving it, as with most things. Secondly, if you don't like learning or dedicating yourself to something, game development is definitely not for you. It takes an intense amount of learning and dedication to the craft, as with most things, and it takes years to learn. That includes just learning the basics of programming, learning UI UX design, learning how to debug things, and perfecting it and refining. So it takes an extraordinary amount of time and an extraordinary amount of effort. But if you're genuinely dedicated, I believe you can do it. And lastly is learning it for the label, not the craft. Let me be clear about something. Downloading an IDE or planning out a game doesn't make you a developer. It genuinely doesn't. Now what it does is the passion, effort, and the drive for creativity. The process of actually creating something, that's the heart of a developer right there. Just don't do it for the label, do it for the craft. Now this isn't to discourage you. There's a lot of benefits from learning massive and transferable skills, being able to make ideas into usable programs. There's intense benefits to learning it, and if you genuinely love it, I believe you can do it. I know you can. Okay, so now you have an idea of why and why not to do it. You've decided you do want to do it, but what's the right game engine to use? Well, the truth is there isn't any right or wrong one to use. There really never has been. The one that you use depends entirely on your goal and your own style. So here are the three major engines that I see a lot of people using, and I personally use one of them myself as my main engine. So starting with Godot. Godot is the one I use, and it's best for 2D and 3D. Support is still increasing, and it does lag behind a little bit for 3D. However, it is genuinely really easy to learn, largely because of its simple node and scene structure and its native scripting language GDScript. It's got a wonderful and beginner-friendly, as well as professional-friendly community. My favorite part is its simplicity and size. It's only around 500 to 600 megabytes. Now, next we have Unity. Unity is genuinely brilliant for both 2D and 3D. It excels in both of them. It also has a bit of a lighter learning curve than Unreal Engine. Well, really quite a lot of lighter learning curve than Unreal Engine, which we'll be discussing next after. It's largely due to the ease of C# comparatively to C++. It's got an amazing community and tons of learning material too. It's also known as the hobbyist engine, and it's reasonable to run, but you should be wary of it as it does have issues with costing quite a bit in the past. Lastly, we have Unreal Engine. Yeah, we've all probably heard of it. Unreal Engine is quite famous, as it's been used in movies, games, and many more applications. It's got quite the learning curve, largely due to its massive size with tons of tools. There's a bustling and massive community though, with loads of learning resources and massive support. One of the best parts about Unreal Engine has always been its blueprint system. It's one of the best visual scriptings out there as it's largely known, and it's really quite famous. Now as far as compatibility with running on low end to mid-range devices, yeah, that's not so great. Now that you've chosen your game engine, or at least hopefully you're thinking about it, you'll likely need an IDE or an integrated development environment to go along with it. My recommendation is Visual Studio Code because it's free, it's open source, it's powerful while being lightweight, and it has a massive community with tons of plugins and support for many, many, many different languages. Now, contrasting to this is Visual Studio Community. It is very good, but it's also very heavy, and it really doesn't have the same support.